This is Terry Kurtz online reporting on Victor Valley, High Desert, and Mojave River Valley events, activities, entertainment, and history. The pandemic of child sexploitation and human trafficking has long since spread into the high desert as Amber Alerts and missing child alerts pervade on an increasingly regular basis. This message from child sexploitation expert Opal Singleton, increasingly timely.
Human trafficking is the fastest growing crime in America. California is the #1 state. We have twice as many cases as any other state. It has to do with gangs and it has to do with social media. The message today mainly is for parents and grandparents and teachers and public leaders and like that to understand what is happening in child pornography, child sex trafficking, social media exploitation. This is the first generation in all of history that'll be able to reach the entire world, and the entire world can reach them. And on top of it, we have technologies that make it very difficult for parents, school officials, and law enforcement, like encrypted messaging, disappearing video. We have cryptocurrency. All of these things make it hard for law enforcement to get a search warrant and for a parent to understand what's happening. So for this organization, it's very important that we work with the children to make them the first generation that's self-responsible on technology and is all-powerful. We really are reaching a point where we can't protect them and law enforcement can't protect them.
The national Save Our Children, All Kids Matter organizers are encouraging Victor Valley residents to join in a nationwide march to stand for the silenced and end child trafficking and exploitation. This movement is in direct response to the Epstein files. It is nonpartisan and promotes protecting the innocent and increasing awareness. The local march will be April 11th, starting at Palmdale Road and Kenwood in Victorville at 9 o'clock that Saturday morning.
The Our Children Project responds to the needs of sexually abused children, providing counseling to the children and their families.
Well, this is our second annual fundraising luncheon for Our Children Project, which is a program for children and families where they're healing from sexual abuse.
I encourage people to talk about abuse. I think we still live in a society where, to some degree, it's swept under the carpet. And like most problems in life, sweeping things under the carpet doesn't do a whole lot of good. And there's an awful lot of help that I think would make a big difference if we actually address the issue.
The Our Children Project has been kind of an outreach ministry of ours for a number of years. We have been connected with them for probably around 10 years now. This is the only program in the high desert like this that helps the children who are victims of such abuse. It is the best known secret of the high desert. Nobody knows about this project, but that's all changing. We're getting the Our Children Project out there in the community so people learn about this, and so other children know that there is a safe place if they've been a victim, that there's a safe place that they can come to get the healing that not only the children need, but also their families, their parents, and their siblings too.
And for the children, we often do hear that I thought I was the only one.
It gives them an opportunity to, number one, find out that they're not alone.
Like keynote speaker Mike Renshaw, Ascension Lutheran pastor James Harris speaks from the experience of being a victim as a child.
For healing, and that there are others like them that they can build relationships with and can grow together and heal together.
Powerful presentations by mothers of adopted children who had been abused, and how Our Children has made all the difference in the world in the healing process.
I'm a parent of 2 graduates of the program, and my kids have gone through and actually graduated both at 18 years old. So I'm giving a talk about our family's experience in the program.
That my children having the opportunity to come and receive support from their peers and from counselors who had similar backgrounds or who had an understanding of their background was the key to my adopted family bonding without this opportunity to become healthy and become well, and to lose their automatic response to what they had experienced as children and learn how to respond differently, our family would not have survived as a whole, I believe.
Well, I was asked to come and speak, Terry, for the Our Children project, and it's something I believe in strongly because I was abused, and I don't think that we have enough people speaking about abuse, shining a light on abuse, and also generating hope, because there is a life after abuse, and I think people need to hear that. The main message is that I'm a slow learner, and it took me 54 years to figure out some things that I want to transfer and talk about so that the people here can help other people who were abused not take 54 years to learn what I learned, so they can heal faster and not have all that long time where they're living with gremlins and pain and doubts, and they can have a life of hope, a life where their dreams are not limited by what happened to them.
Many of us were introduced to slam poetry at this, the third annual fundraising luncheon for Our Children Foundation. Slam poetry is described as poetry expressing an intensely emotional personal story or struggle, very powerful and moving. The poetry is generally used in a competition known as a poetry slam. Often, as with hip-hop music, the subject matter concerns urban life, crime, drugs, or other inner-city-related subjects. Project Administrator Carol Voll tells about slam poet Andre Jackson.
Well, Andre has visited our program a few times for the children and the youth who have had hardships in their lives and abuse. So he's shown us in real life how he can use poetry, slam poetry, that he does the most, and helps them to express themselves and get some things out that they need to get out about their own personal lives. And he's just very, very entertaining in how he does those kind of things, even in his therapy.
One, it surprised me. I've never seen anything like it. Two, the ability to bring parents together as well as the children, and just see how some of the problems or some of the needs can be addressed. I think the program does with some of the kids in the program, and it's a special program. What makes it special is its ability to change children's lives.
We have nothing to do with success. We have everything to do with survival. We have nothing to do with success. Climb the castle walls, always realizing that most of the parents that we call monsters just never really took a chance letting down the drawbridge of their own castles. So how dare we call anyone monster? Thank you for your time.
If we can all, as human beings at times, throttle back, take one step back, and think before we move, I think that we can make a lot of change.
Regina Witherspoon Bell, representing County Supervisor Robert Lovingood, recognizes Project Warriors Marta Woodfield, Ann Klein, and Margaret Goldman. They were not the only ones recognized by the County Supervisor.
Whereas the month of April is designated as Child Abuse Prevention Month, and whereas our Children Project is a unique therapy program that has helped thousands of children and families in the high desert heal from the trauma of sexual abuse. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the 1st District San Bernardino County Supervisor, Robert A. Lovingood, does hereby recognize our Children Project as an official therapy program for helping children and families in the high desert community.
The Our Children Project has been kind of an outreach ministry of ours for a number of years. This is the only program in the high desert that helps the children who are victims of such abuse.
We work with victims of sexual abuse, and we work with youth offenders as well, and parents, and it can be a biological parent, it can be a guardian, a foster parent. So we work with both aspects so that we can have one group to address the victim and then one group for the parent support. and then we all come together and help them with whatever they need to.
And for the children, we often do hear that I thought I was the only one.
It gives them an opportunity to, number one, find out that they're not alone.
Sometimes younger kids come in and it's very difficult for them, so it's really getting them to know I'm here to help you, and this is going to be where we work together.
There is an opportunity for healing that they can build relationships with and can grow together and heal together.
The Victor Valley Community Services Council is offering free homemaker services, transportation, and activities for seniors ages 60 and older with mobility challenges. Residents can join the group in its monthly shopping trips where they pick you up, take you home, and assist with lifting and carrying items. For more information or to reserve your seat on the bus, call 760-243-9646. The Victor Valley Community Services Council is offering free mobility devices. Do you know a senior in need of a mobility device? The Victor Valley Community Services Council provides free wheelchairs, walkers, bedside commodes, canes, and more to those who qualify. The agency recently received a generous donation of wheelchairs from High Desert Second Chance. For more information, please call 760-243-9646. Vouchers are now available to have dogs or cats spayed or neutered. Residents with dogs or cats in San Bernardino County's unincorporated communities can request a voucher for $50 towards spaying and neutering. To request a voucher, call the Pet Overpopulation Coalition at 888-767-2550 or email the address shown. Other local shelters include the Hesperia Animal Shelter on Santa Fe Avenue and the Apple Valley Animal Shelter on Powhatan Road. This is an appropriate time of year for us to take a virtual tour of the Mission San Juan Capistrano. Mission San Juan Capistrano was founded more than 200 years ago, established to expand the territorial boundaries of Spain and to spread Christianity to the native peoples of California. The mission features a chapel still standing and, today, is a monument to California's multicultural history, embracing its Native Americans, Spanish, Mexican, and European heritage. Originally built as a self-sufficient community by Spanish padres and Native Americans, the mission was a center for agriculture, industry, education, and religion. Mission San Juan Capistrano's oldest tradition is the ringing of the historic bells. This tradition has the ringing of the bells on designated feast days, holidays, and community celebrations, including March 19th, Feast Day of St. Joseph. The original two largest bells hang in the footprint of the bell tower of the ruins of the great stone church. On the bell wall are two replica large bells and the original two small bells, which are still rung today. The miracle of the swallows of Capistrano takes place each year on March 19th, St. Joseph's Day. Swallows migrate 6,000 miles from Goya, Argentina, to San Juan Capistrano in large groups dating back to the early 1800s. The first official celebration of the swallows' return to the mission was commemorated with a parade and fiesta on March 19, 2021. This statue of the riderless horse was erected in the mid-1990s, a memorial to the soldiers who protected the mission. An empty saddle ceremony is held at least twice a year, first in late March and again in September. The next ringing of the bells at Mission San Juan Capistrano will be July 1st, Feast Day. From our Victor Valley News and Public Information, Places to Go and Things to Do file, the advent of Easter season makes for an opportune time to visit Desert Christ Park in Yucca Valley, described as a sculpture garden situated on 3.5 acres. There we see over 50 larger-than-life steel-reinforced concrete statues that depict the ministry of Jesus Christ. Intriguing to me that the site of these monuments is in the Mojave Desert, purportedly the only place in the world other than the Holy Land where Joshua trees thrive. Displays include, among others, the Sermon on the Mount, the blessing of the children, the Samaritan woman at the well, the 3-story depiction of the Last Supper, the tomb of Christ, and the ascension into heaven. The Desert Christ Park was dedicated on Easter Sunday in 1951. The statues are the creation of architect, artist, sculptor Antone Martin as a benchmark of peace for mankind. Between 1951 and 1961, Antone Martin completed over 50 works. Desert Christ Park is open daily. There is no admission fee. It is strongly recommended before visiting the park in Yucca Valley that you visit the website www.desertchristpark.org and learn the fascinating story of the artist's struggle to find a location for his masterful works of art, his mission, and the essential role played by people of Yucca Valley, whose role was vital to not only bring the park to fruition, but ultimately preserve this benchmark of peace for mankind. TKOL is brought to you by We Got 'em Tees, your headquarters for custom screen printing and mastercraft embroidery design. Bid fast and last, world-class auctioneers. Valu Quality Truck Bodies, family-owned and operated locally since 1954. The Bradco Companies, our area's longest-standing full-service commercial brokerage firm. Iwanzak Law Firm, trial lawyers for serious problems. Down Home Grill, 760-241-4663 for delivery, drive-through, pickup, or to order ahead for dine-in. And by the Holiday Inn in Victorville, conference and convention center for the High Desert, and favored destination for travelers and visitors to the Victor Valley. As pet lovers and guardians of our furry family members, it's crucial to stay informed about the natural cycles of wildlife that share our high desert neighborhoods and hiking areas. One such cycle that deserves our attention, especially for dog owners, is the coyote mating season. Coyote mating season typically occurs from late January through March, a period when these adaptable creatures become more visible and assertive in both rural and urban areas. This increase in activity can lead to more frequent encounters between coyotes and domestic pets, particularly dogs. Coyotes, driven by natural instincts, may view dogs as rivals or threats to their territory and potential mates, leading to potentially dangerous confrontations. To help safeguard your dog, stay vigilant on walks. During mating season, it's wise to keep your dogs on a shorter leash and stay on well-lit, populated paths, especially during dusk and dawn when coyotes are most active. Always keep an eye out for any wildlife that may cross your path. Terry Kurtz Online flashes back to dramatized video trailers promoting novels written by Victor Valley author John Byer.
You American tramp! Do what I say or she dies!
Please, I'll do anything you want. Just let her go.
Get on the loudspeaker! Tell the teachers to open the classrooms now!
I can't do that.
Then she dies.
The teachers won't unlock their doors. Not after seeing you and your men come onto school grounds.
Then we will have to find other avenues, won't we?
get?
Depends on how serious these men are.
It's going to be pretty serious from the intel I've received from the deputies on scene. We've got over 24 well-armed men, RPGs, AK-47s. We need to get SWAT here if we have time.
This is not looking very promising.
What are we going to do if SWAT doesn't make it there on time? You two seem awfully calm for a school being taken over by terrorists.
Not at all, but this is the way of life. This terrorism is new to you Americans, but it's old to us.
Ah, the Russian philosopher.
My God! They just executed 2 children.
How do you know?
It was just uploaded to YouTube.
This is when it starts.
The Bureau of Land Management has awarded 2 grants totaling almost $5 million to accelerate the training and placement of excess wild horses and burros into private care.
A killer without remorse,
These grants are
burning
part
with
of the
pride in
BLM's
having the
efforts
time of
to
his
encourage
life.
more
Zachary
adopters to give a
Marshall is
wild horse or burro a good
until
home.
Detective
The
Jonas
Adoption
Peters
Incentive
unexpectedly
Program
arrives in the midst
provides
of
up
one
to
of Marshall's heinous
$1,000
crimes.
to adopt an
After a bank
untrained wild
robbery
horse
goes
or
from bad to
burro
worse
from
and
the
leaves
BLM.
3 dead,
The goal of
including a
the
little
program
girl.
is to reduce
Marshall finds
BLM's
himself the
recurring
target
costs
of the
to
most
care for
intensive manhunt
unadopted and untrained
Riverside,
wild horses
California
and
has
burros,
ever
while
witnessed.
helping to enable the BLM to confront a growing overpopulation of wild horses and burros on fragile public rangelands. Thanks to its Adoption Incentive Program and the online corral, the BLM has doubled the rate of private care placement over the last 5 years.
Got an extra one?
Rebecca, you don't smoke.
You're right. I can't sympathize that much.
Good.
Tell me what happened.
Is this official?
Has to be, Jonas. It's my business. I need to know that procedures were followed to the letter of the law.
You know me, Rebecca. Of course they were.
Jonas, this is bad. Not only has the department lost a fine detective, but we've got 2 dead civilians and 1 who may or may not make it. And we've got nothing to show for it. That perp just disappeared off of that roof.
We followed procedures.
Tell me then. I need to know exactly how it happened.
You can read my report.
Look, I know you guys hate internal affairs, but you gotta understand something. We don't only go after the bad cops, we try to protect the good ones. Look, I know you've been through hell today, but don't take it out on me. I'm trying to help.
Steve and I heard shots inside the bank and decided to go in.
Did you know what the shooting was about?
Not at the time, but we thought it prudent to get our asses in there before there'd be possible bloodshed. We wanted to wait for backup, but there wasn't enough time.
Jonas, the only thing that suspect shot before you got in there was the surveillance camera. That was it.
How were we to know? I thought he might start shooting up the place. It was a judgment call, Rebecca, plain and simple.
Nothing in this business is plain and simple. There's a lot of knots in this story that have to be untied before it's laid out to view. Look, I probably overstepped my authority by saying this much this early. I'll talk to you again. I am sorry about your partner.
Yeah, sure.
Screw you. I'll miss him too.
Detective Peters becomes frustrated and half-crazed as the case falters due to lack of clues and evidence. Ordered to take a vacation from the department before he drives all of the other detectives crazy with his constant tirades, he reluctantly agrees, but an innocent remark to the media changes the entire scenario. Now the hunter becomes hunted. Detective Peters takes this homicide case especially hard, having seen his own young daughter murdered during a bungled convenience store robbery years earlier. The pain of the darkness is too deep, and the spirits are waiting to remind him they will not forgive him, and he cannot forgive himself. There will be no rest until Marshall is caught. Hunted, available May 18th in bookstores everywhere.
John Robert Byer has since published the novels Operation Scorpion and Akitos, The Past Will Kill. A gifted photographer as well as novelist and author, John Byer co-authors online articles with his wife, Laureen Byer, on their blog website, JNL Research and Exploration. He is also an award-winning columnist, the author of Byer's Byways column, appearing weekly in USA Today and the Victorville Daily Press.
The Byers have also appeared in episodes of the Tales of the Frontier television series. On this date in high desert sports and entertainment history, behind the scenes of this 2012 episode of Tales of the Frontier series, filmed locally.
Ladies and gentlemen, Two Gun Family. The program you are about to see is true. No names have been changed because, well, nobody here is innocent. Return with us to the days of the Old West with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty
I love everything about it.
Locations for the 2012 series Tales of the Frontier take us to the Lazy Lizard in Lucerne Valley, to the nearby Lazy G Ranch, to a very cold, windy, and wet early morning shoot at the Saggy V in Apple Valley's Marianas, and neighboring locations along the Mojave River, up to picturesque Big Bear and Crestline locations observed by traveling journalist John Byer and wife Lorene, who later joined the cast of Tales of the Frontier.
That we covered one of the episodes up in Crestline during the summer, and it was such a fun event, all-day event, that we decided to come in and do work as extras. I didn't realize how much there was into a production. I mean, my goodness, this costume took 40 minutes to put on, and we're not done yet.
And back down to Dale and Lloyd Noel's Coyote Pines outside Lucerne Valley, the nearby Whitehorse Ranch, Western Village, and back over to the Kemper Campbell Ranch between Victorville and Apple Valley.
There's this baseball movie coming out in March called Ghost of the Game. It's directed by Daryl Warren, a former Victor Valley resident whose sons, Daryl and Tyler, were all-league basketball players at Silverado High School in the early 1990s. Many scenes were filmed in 2023 at Maverick Stadium with a number of background players, local residents.
You boys aren't thinking about the ghost of the game, are you?
Yeah, why?
Every time the black players and some of the white players try and combine the leagues.
I said he was safe. When I say go. Hey, you heard it.
If it erupts into a brawl, the people get hurt.
Maybe somewhere else, but not here. I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
These excerpts from a CBS interview make the movie's theme even more timely today than when it took place 5 years ago.
How did you come up with this storyline?
In life, you see all over the news what's going on now and everything with all the craziness that's going on and all the rhetoric between people arguing and stuff like that. And you think about it, we're all together, we're all the same, and people have to unite and be together and play together because it's part of our history. Not only do we see, how it was back then, but you look at the teams today and how it is today and everything, and everybody's playing together, but you have to know your history, where baseball started from.
It's a situation. Goes to the past, believe your talent is not up to par with theirs. You guys are going to play 3-game series against each other. Starting with the home run contest. 3 series games. 3 against Disney and his players, 3 against Satchel and his players.
Listen up, guys. There's been a change. The old timers going to combine their team. You guys have a problem with that? Who cares?
To really understand and everything, and get a respect of the game. We take what we have in the past, what we learned and everything. We learn from that. We continue to play together. Like I said, the story of this is we all have to play together. People are going to love it. It's for the whole family. You have a family film, so it's definitely going to be really good.
Ghost of the Game premieres March 27th, 28th, and 29th at the Skyline Drive-In Theater in Barstow. That's the week Major League Baseball's season begins. Ghost of the Game will then be shown at the Starlight Cinemas in Rancho Cucamonga at a later date to be announced.
Terry Kurtz here, throwing out an invitation for you to catch up with High Desert Sports Activity, your High Desert Sports Report, showing 3 times every day on Victor Valley TV, 7 and 11 every morning, 4 every afternoon. We hope you'll join us right here on Victor Valley TV. That's a wrap on this edition of Terry Kurtz Online. On behalf of Victor Valley Television Productions, thank you for watching. We hope to see you again next time around.